what the world press in attacking Modi about this fails to realize is that Prime Minister Modi has done this as much for the people in Kashmir as anywhere else. He wants to see prosperity, he wants to see peace, he wants to see growth. And I think under his leadership, given what he's accomplished in India over the last few years, I anticipate that what you're going to see in Kashmir in the future is the beginning of security, the beginning of peace, and finally the beginning of prosperity. Shali, I couldn't be more appreciative of building a friendship with you over the last couple of years. Our friendship really started with the rise and the election of Prime Minister Modi back in 2014. And I knew when we had you on the radio show in New York City, and when we had you on the pages of Breitbart being interviewed or writing articles for us, and then all of the great work you did when I took over the campaign in August of 2016, you really became a partner. And if it was not for you, Shali Kumar, I'm telling you, I don't believe President Trump would have been President of the United States. It was the critical nature of these Hindu-American votes, the Indian-American votes, that pushed President Trump over the top in many of the battleground states. So I want to thank you for your friendship. I want to thank you for introducing me. For introducing me to India, to introducing me to also understanding Prime Minister Modi better. And I got to tell you, I think Prime Minister Modi, particularly given the situation we've got in Hong Kong, the situation we have in China, I think Japan, India, and the United States are going to be the guarantors of peace and security in the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean in decades to come. And that's primarily because of Prime Minister Modi. So, Shali, thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, Steve, can you hear me? Steve? Okay, he can. Okay, good. So, Steve, first of all, thank you so much. You were a big instrument. You were part of having Trump adopt the Hindu community and give a lot more importance to the Hindu community in halls of Congress, in White House. It's the first time we started to have the word Hindu. That's where we started. And it goes, the effort was major effort on your part, and you're taking the time in your very busy schedule to participate in this event. We're extremely grateful, appreciative of that for you. Now, and also for some of you, I will maybe say in Hindi also, or maybe Hari Bhai can explain that in Hindi. Sooner or later, Steve, you're going to have to learn Hindi. Okay, so here, as far as who is, ये Steve Bannon जो है, आपको बता देते हैं कि कौन है. कि ट्रंप जो था अगस्त 2016 में पोल्स के हिसाब से बहुत नीचे आ रहा था, 18% के नीचे जो है वो नीचे आ रहा था. अगर वो उस वक्त स्टीव बैनन ने वो नहीं लिया होता इंचार्ज, ट्रंप ने जो है इसको टॉप कैंपेन ऑफिशियल बना दिया, तो जो उसी वक्त से स्टीव बैनन ने हिंदूज को भी अडॉप्ट किया, तभी रिपब्लिकन हिंदू कोalition तभी हमारा पार्टिसिपेशन हुई. तो इसलिए अगर स्टीव बैनन प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप का चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर सीईओ बोलते हैं कैंपेन का नहीं होता, तब प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप प्रेसिडेंट नहीं होते और प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप और मोदी की जो फ्रेंडशिप है वो नहीं होती. तो इसलिए let's give a big round of applause. Let's see some banners out here to Steve Bannon.
Thank you. Thank you, Shali. Thank you.
Okay, there is. I told you that I'm going to be talking a little bit more about today in Hindi. So it's a very serious subject. पहले तो first time we are having Now, in a way, really three celebrations. One celebration, एक तो हुआ इंडिया की इंडिपेंडेंस के लिए, दूसरा हुआ थोड़ा नीचे, मैं यहाँ 50 साल से पहले आया, ओके, और तीसरी जो है बहुत उससे भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि पहली बार अब 72 इयर्स के बाद में 1947 से 2019 कितने हुए? 72 साल के बाद में कश्मीर जो है पहली बार आजाद हुआ है। तो ये जो है ये नहीं होता अगर मोदी नहीं होता। तो बोलते हैं ना, मोदी है तो मुमकिन है। अच्छा, आप जो हैं कुछ ज्यादा यहाँ पे कश्मीर वगैरह से नहीं है, तो आपको ज्यादा नहीं मालूम होगा, तो मैं थोड़ा बता देता हूँ। पहले तो मैं पंजाब से हूँ और कई साल वहां पे जहां रहता था बॉर्डर से सिर्फ 12 मील 12 miles away from the border. So I've seen wars. I've seen war of 65 particularly. Pakistani planes used to fly over our head and we used to go on the top of the roofs instead of going in the basement and flaunting them to see whether they come in and attack us. So anyway, we got kind of a little silly, but you know, I was a young boy at that time. लेकिन आपको ये बताता हूँ कि ये जो कश्मीर की बात है वो मतलब कि क्यों जो है ये आर्टिकल 370 क्यों निकालना था। अच्छा, आपको ये बताते हूँ कि बहुत सीरियस बात है। जनवरी 18 की नाइट, जनवरी 19 की मॉर्निंग कश्मीर वैली में, श्रीनगर में 1990 में क्या हुआ? सब बाहर से लाउड स्पीकर में बोल रहे हैं, मॉस से सभी से यही बहुत लाउड जो है स्लोगन आ रहे हैं। पता क्या बोल रहे हो? जागो जागो, रूस ने बाजी हारी है।
अब कश्मीर,
जागो जागो, अब रूस ने बाजी हारी है,
अब कश्मीर की बारी है। शेम। और
उसके बाद में और कुछ जो अब उसकी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, उससे किसी के भी आंसू आ जाते हैं। कश्मीर बनेगा पाकिस्तान हिंदू मर्दों के बगैर। कश्मीर बनेगा पाकिस्तान हिंदू मर्दों के बगैर, लेकिन उनकी औरतों के साथ। So all this history of Kashmir is the radical Islam for all these years. You see, the West has learned about the radical Islam only in the last 30 years or so. But Hindu nation, India, has seen radical Islam for the last 1,000 years. And when you see actions like this, I see a girl here in tears. I assume, yeah, you probably are from Kashmir. So, you know, I mean, everybody will tear up. So, you know what the women, this was the first time women, जो औरतों थे, लड़कियां जो थी, उनको क्या करना पड़ा? जो पाकिस्तान के जो मतलब जो पाकिस्तान की आर्मी के और कश्मीर के जो रेडिकल इस्लामिस्ट हैं, उन्होंने क्या किया? उन्होंने ये किया कि जब भी हिंदुओं के पंडितों के उनके घर तोड़े, उसके बाद दरवाजा तोड़ने के बाद उन्होंने जब लड़कियों का अटैक किया उनके ऊपर, तो उनको मालूम हो गया लड़कियों को, तो जो सब जो है मेन जो थे, पंडित जो थे कश्मीरी पंडित, उन्होंने क्या किया कि वो लड़कियों को स्टोर में क्लोजेट में छिपा देते हैं। अब कैसे कैसे छिपाते हैं? तो लड़कियों ने पता क्या किया? Over 20,000 women self-immolated just that night. तो अगर मोदी ने अब इसको ठीक किया है तो उसमें क्या गलत बात है? Okay, so I think we're going to turn to Steve again to ask me some questions.
Charlie, the first question I have is I just said earlier that we had two great events in the United States in the summer of 1969, the moon landing and the arrival of Charlie Kumar to the United States.
Thank you. I don't think I deserve that adoration, but coming from you is great.
Charlie, but tell us, I think what I like most about the story, and I'd like to hear a little bit more of it, how you got off the plane and you had negative net worth, you had virtually no cash in your pocket, and you had no savings. Tell us what it was like when you first got to the United States. Given the success you are today, did you have a vision that you would make it this big, or what were your thoughts when you first arrived?
Well, actually, what happened, Steve, in 1969, in the final year, you have to start thinking, oh, now I got to go into workforce. What am I going to do? There are no jobs there in India, and at that time, corruption was rampant. And, my mother was totally anti-corruption, and so I could not imagine working for a day in India, so I decided to come to United States. So for that, you needed a scholarship and you needed some money, and our family did not have any money, so they had to show that we had the money. So all our friends and relatives, they put the money in a bank account and show that we have the money. So so then we come to I come to the United States. Now the money has to be returned, so I'm minus $5,000. So I was interested in many things. First, of course, the biggest thing was electronics. It was very hard to invent in Punjab Engineering College, where I was from, because the availability of components and all that was not there. And here I came to a land where you could design, and actually Manny probably saw that. He was part of this when he was working at AVG. That's Sharda's husband, my brother-in-law, and he saw that we were able to design. I'm pretty good at sketching out a hardware circuit design. So I design a circuit. It takes me like a day or two to design a circuit, which other companies take like 2 years to design. But I was in an environment where I will see a product every 2 weeks. Every month I'll see a product. So I've developed over 1,000 different products, and at that point, that's what I did. I just loved inventing products. Of course, the French fry computer and PLS and all that came about from there. But at that time, I was not thinking business. I was not thinking politics. I was just thinking of design. So that's kind of my story from there. And then, of course, what happened was, I won't bore you too much with that story, but I was inventing so many products that the owner of the company, National Controls, he did not want to let me go, and they made me a partner for nothing, no money. So I'm a partner there, and the company became so successful in a few years. They said, why don't you just buy this company? I said, I don't know how to run a company. I know only how to design. Oh, we'll teach you how to design. How to run the company. So they actually managed to finance, set the purchase price, and everything themselves. Could not have better bosses than John Ruzier, I'm sorry. John Ruzier and Gus Kuchatsky. They were my two bosses, and they helped me become the owner of AVG. That is what is great about America. Here, the talent is what matters.
Charlie, if you had to boil it down to one lesson you've learned since you came over here virtually as a penniless young engineer, and you've been such an enormous success, if you had to take it down to one lesson that you've learned, what's the lesson that you ascribe your success to?
Believe in yourself, and nothing is impossible. My mother used to say, when we were growing up, that's what we learned from my mother, and of course, saw in practice here rather than in the Janambhumi, rather than in India. I saw it here that, she would tell us that, you know what? We are the ones who invented zero. We are the ones who invented decimal point. Who says that we can't do this? We can go on the moon. We can do all these things. And you can do whatever you believe in. And that came into practice in my Karambhumi workplace, the United States of America.
Shali, how do you balance? You're one of the most patriotic Americans I've ever met. Yet I know you're also patriotic and a great believer and a lover of your native country of India. Talk to us about that.
Well, for 20 years I was in India. I grew up in India, and my mother was a freedom fighter. So, of course, I have a lot of affinity for India. And by the way, she was not too happy when I told her that I'm coming to the United States, because she, as a total patriotic Hindu Indian, wanted me to just stay there. But after a few years, when she started seeing that, how I could help not only Americans create jobs, and as well as be a help to India. Particularly, she was most appreciative of the fact, a couple of things. One is I started scholarships in in Punjab Engineering College, where I came from, and also then on the political side, when we cut off foreign aid to Pakistan, then she said, well, I think it was worth it that you went there. So she was also, by the way, a big supporter of Modi.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. The way we met is even before the election in 2014, you approached me when I was running Breitbart to talk to me about Modi, and you said, look, this is the Reagan of India. What did you see in Modi before he won in 2014? How did you really understand what his greatness would be?
Okay, actually, for that also there is a story here. Is Bhailal here?
No.
No, okay. So, what was happening, okay, I was engaged in a campaign to cut off foreign aid to Pakistan, convincing congressmen to do that. In that process, I was going to Punjabi community, I was going to Arya Samaji community, I was lots of different communities, and you know what? Where I found the biggest support? Gujarati community. And I figured out over there by talking to Bhailal, he says, this chief minister of Modi, I had not heard the name Modi before 2013. So, no, I'm sorry, before 2012, let's say summer of 2012. And then I started to study up on Narendra Modi, and I see that he is a really totally dedicated man. He eliminated corruption, because that was my hot subject, corruption from Gujarat. Gujarat was prospering dramatically, and he could bring the same thing to entire India. There are so many families in India in politics who just want to enrich themselves. And Modi, you could tell, was not a person who has any interest in anything other than Bharat. So that's what attracted me to him. I went there, some people here arranged a meeting for me to meet with Chief Minister. I was actually good friends with Nitin Gadkari, and he was at that time president of Bharatiya Janata Party, which actually fields the prime ministerial candidates. So he said that we have a candidate who is just dynamite. If we could solve only one problem, the problem is that he is isolated from the United States. He's not allowed to travel to the United States. His visa is banned because of a fake 2002 news. We have all learned the fake news here in the United States. That was 2002 was a fake news. Because of that, and Western media, he was not allowed in the United States. He said, if you could bring in a delegation, a senior congressional delegation to visit him, then that diplomatic isolation will be finished. And then that's what we did in March of 2013. And that ended his diplomatic isolation. Gadkari was confident enough to then propose his name as the Prime Minister of India. So that's how our relationship developed.
Shali, I know in the coming days and weeks ahead, not just with op-eds you're writing and editorials you're writing, but I know you're going to be doing radio and media to explain to the American people exactly what's going on. Because talking about fake news, I think the spin that's coming from the mainstream media about what's happening in India now is totally wrong. How would you explain to an American audience the history of Kashmir in India and how that can be explained about what Prime Minister Modi, the actions he just took?
People speaking.
Yeah, you see, it's very important for Western audiences, Western media, just the population. We could talk among ourselves. That's not enough. We need to broadcast it out to people. Whereas Western people, Western civilization has seen radical Islam again only for the last 20, 30 years. India, Hindu nation, has seen, again, once I repeat it, radical Islam for the last 1,000 years. I have to educate, I want to educate the people of America, particularly, of Genghis Khan, Ghaznavi, Gauri,
Babar,
Aurangzeb, Babar. Pardon me, maybe give me some more names.
Akbar,
Huh? Humayun. No, Humayun was sort of okay. Sort of okay.
Ghazni,
Okay, Khilji.
Ghazni.
Khilji. So, Alauddin Khilji. So all these people, what is their pattern? The pattern is this.
and the Britishers.
No, this is, we are talking about different.
Yeah.
Okay, Kashmir. Okay, so the pattern is very similar for the last 1,000 years. These radical Islamists are very brutal people. They love brutality. Again, you have to go back 1,000 years to know how brutal they are. How many people have to be taught this? Who was that, Ghaznavi or Gauri or Khilji? Who was that who loved Padmavati? Khilji. So Khilji is, there's a beautiful Hindu woman, the princess of Chittor, and he loves her picture. He just wants to have her. So for that, he destroyed, like at that time, 200,000 or so lives. Just for that. So their pattern is total brutality. For whatever reason, you are beautiful women. They love Hindu women, but they treat the women as second-class citizens. Okay, so that's their pattern. So what they did in Kashmir, 1947. Okay, this will take a little bit of a time. I'll try to speed it through. In 1947, British set up the rule that the ruler of the state will decide where they want to go to. Maharaja Hari Singh, a Hindu king, decided to go to India. And now the Britishers also proposed to Jinnah that if there is a majority Muslim population or majority any population, just like Hyderabad on the other side, then there will be a plebiscite. Jinnah and Pakistan did not accept that proposal. What they wanted to do was to take Kashmir by force. Some of you probably here from Gujarat, you may not know that. Kashmiris will know that. Punjabis will know that. Pakistan organized Operation Gulmarg. Operation Gulmarg 6 months before the partition. They knew exactly what they're going to do. That if they take a vote, they will lose that. Maharaja Hari Singh, they will lose that. So how to get Kashmir? Just get it by force. Same pattern. Just say they organized 20 Lashkars. Each Lashkar had 1,000 members. So 20,000 people. Pakistani army came in and attacked the Kashmiris, the Hindus there, and wanted to take over Kashmir. And Maharaja Hari Singh then said to India, help. Then the Indian army went there, and this is also the same pattern, by the way, that Indian army, brave men, they come there, and if I may say so, I don't know, it's politically right, they kick their asses. So, but we are also so nice that what we do is the Indian forces, they capture and then they turn it back because they're so nice. Just as an example, in 1948, January 1948, while the India and Pakistan is having this war, Mahatma Gandhi, he was really a saint. He says, Muslims are your younger brothers. You gotta really treat them right. You gotta treat them right. Love. We gotta show them love. So they are attacking India, and what Mahatma Gandhi, he went on fast to death to give them $55 billion while Pakistan is attacking India.
Shame.
So this is the pattern what we have to actually tell the Western audiences, the history, that they conducted 4 wars, 1965, 1971, and then 1999, Kargil. And all those wars, the same pattern, same brutality, same everything. And then Indian army finally gets involved when they get triggered so much, and then they take it back, and then we turn it back to them. But hopefully, this time with Modi, it's going to be different. Okay, so go ahead. Steve, sorry, I get too emotional about this, so I talk a lot.
Shali, it's great, particularly I know that it's going to be very important for people in the United States to understand this. And can you explain for a second why the abrogation of Article 370? Why is it in the best interest of the nation and people of India, the United States, and the people in Kashmir?
You see, what happened is in 72, again, we tried to be, let's show love to the other people, and we adopted these Articles 370 and 35A, which essentially froze the whole community of Kashmir, all the people of Kashmir, as if 1948, 49, 50 never came. They froze in medieval times, whereas India was making all these different rules. They were not applicable. All the laws of India were not applicable to the people of Kashmir. For example, minimum wage. For example, health insurance. The world has moved in the last 72 years, except Kashmir. So now, and Kashmir is a beautiful place, beautiful people, and then now it's going to get rehabilitated, and the laws, they will all have the protection of the Constitution of India. So obviously there is going to be a huge progress. So that's why the abrogation of this article is great.
Let them hear from him.
Shali, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's a great explanation. I think as the audience should know, is you're writing more op-eds, you're writing more editorials, you're going to be doing radio, and I think TV over the next couple of weeks to explain this to the American people. It'll be fantastic.
I would like you to talk to, just for a couple of minutes, Manny Sherman. He was, Manny, could you come here, please? He firsthand experienced 1947. He was 3 years old. He was 3 years old when the Pakistani army marched into their homes.
Manny, could you describe that? You were actually there in 1947. What was it like? What did your family tell you? What were the stories about the attack?
That's the time we got attacked.
Speak, those who were there in Kashmir.
Punch state was a part of J&K. I was only 3 years old, so I don't remember anything myself. Which way they want to go, India or Pakistan. So what happened there? Shali said they left that territory to my home, still in Pakistan, occupied Kashmir. And supply side could not be done until they get out of there. So supply side never happened. They actually tried to get Kashmir back again by attacking J&K 4 times. So every time they were defeated. So that's where we are. Meanwhile, this 370 was holding the progress of Jammu and Kashmir because there was no industry going there. There was nothing happening. Actually, there are only a few corrupt families. Most of the money they were stealing from the people. People, they are backward. They still don't have the progress which India has seen. We have sent rockets to the moon, but Kashmir is still living in medieval ages. Do you have any questions?
Manny, why did you emigrate to the United States, and what year did you emigrate?
I came here in 1969, the same year as Shali did. I came 6 months before him. So we met at IIT, Illinois Institute of Technology, which is in the engineering college in Chicago. And I married his sister later on.
You could tell the story. How I come to this.
I had not even seen the young lady. He talked about her to me, and I said, listen, if that's what it is, because we were close friends, I said, that's okay. So what happened, my parents went over. Okay, I told them, listen, why don't you go and meet the family of this young lady and tell me if everything is okay, and if everything is okay, we'll proceed. So they went there to see her for only a day. They stayed there for almost 2 weeks. So confirming that everything was as is. So we got married later on. She came to United States in January of '71. I had never even met her. First time I met her was at the airport. All right, Steve, looks like we are running out of time here. So,
what are your thoughts about the abrogation of 370 and how that'll affect India-Pakistan relations?
Naturally, Pakistan is not too happy about it because they wanted to have India occupy Kashmir by unfair means. That's what they've been trying by war. They've tried war 4 times already. They have been bleeding India for the last since 1947 by spreading terrorism in Pakistan.
Can you?
Well, Manny, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay, Steve, I think we are going to probably be running a little bit late, and so we are going to end this again. Thank you so much for taking the time to address this crowd. So let's just show one more time more love to Steve Bannon.